What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? I just realized that I don't have all of my equipment set up yet to go live. What I mean by that's my recording. I have a good connection apparently. Come on. There we go. So we're going to have to record from here. All right, this will be interesting. But whatever. It is what it is. Let's put StreamYard over here. Oh, my phone's in my tripod's in the way. It is what it is. It'll work. How's it going, man? So today we're going to go over Is Retargeting. And we're doing that. What happened to my StreamYard? Oh, there it is. All right. This is going to be a different episode, but we're going to get going right now. Do a couple recordings and be talking about remarketing. So if you guys have an online store or you're just using digital marketing in general, this is definitely something you're going to want to listen to. It is a multi-part series, and it does have to do a little bit with what I was talking about when I was going over vanity metrics. Hopefully all of you can hear me. Always trying new stuff out. But we'll see what's going on here. All right. What's up, guys, and welcome to today's podcast. And of course, friggin' Snapchat goes off. Oh, this is not good. This is interesting and different at the same time. Trying to use Anchor more often and see how that works. And it doesn't work like the phone app does. If you guys ever try to use podcasting yourself or create your own podcast, I highly recommend Anchor, but it doesn't seem to be acting the same way as it does on desktop as it does on mobile. Yeah, that's different. That is different, but we'll see how it goes. What's up, guys, and welcome to today's podcast. Now, today's podcast is going to be a multi-part series, probably going for two. Technically speaking, I can expand this on 3 parts. There is a precursor to this podcast called Vanity Metrics, which you're going to want to go back and you're going to listen to that and understand what Vanity Metrics are, so you understand a little bit on what retargeting ads are as well. But with that, today, let's go through today's podcast and start on what is retargeting ads and how can it help boost your revenue. Now, in general, I'm going to be sticking to e-commerce stores in this sense. If you're an open store, you're selling stuff online. However, the concepts and the ideas I'll be talking about in this podcast can be applied to any online website. It just depends on what metrics are important to you and what calls to action you're wanting people to complete while they're on your website. But just for the sake of arguing, we're just going to stick to e-commerce based websites for this recording and this particular podcast. That is different, Anchor. That is different. I have to. So on the app, on Anchor, if you're doing it from your phone, you can pause and start and delete all on the same recording. However, when on your desktop computer, that doesn't seem to be the case. You got to record each part individually and I guess pretty much hope you don't mess up. You can label them afterwards, which is what I'm doing right now, but I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that at all. I just got a brand new setup and PC setup as well, so I got to go and re-download all the programs that I had to help me with my podcast because they worked way easier. So I'm going to be struggling a bit through this recording because I'm using equipment that I've never used before. I have a brand new setup, which none of you can see right now. But this will be interesting and this will be a bit different. But with that being said, let's continue on with the podcast and hope I don't screw this up that bad. So what is retargeting ads and what role do they primarily play in bringing customers back? Primarily those who leave your site without buying anything. Now, we're not necessarily going to be talking about shopping cart abandonment. That is a tactic all on its own by itself. We're talking about people that just show up and just leave. One of the biggest frustrations when selling stuff online is seeing through Google Analytics how many first-time visitors leave your site without purchasing anything. This includes those who looked around and seemed interested based off the keywords that they typed into Google, the ad that showed up, and they went to your website for something. But what's the big deal? Nothing happened. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's just keep labeling everything. Part 1, part 2, part 3. This is going to have multiple parts to it. But Anchor, not StreamYard. Anchor's very different. I don't use StreamYard. I don't know if anyone does. But Anchor is owned and brought to you by Spotify. It used to be its own thing. Oh, yeah, Spotify bought it. Yeah, hey, what time is it? So after all that hard work and money that you put into bringing traffic into your store in the first place, and we're talking about website design, Google My Business, setting up the proper ads, you're probably using display and YouTube ads as well. It seems like a waste of time to go without bringing in any revenue. Business owners who struggle with this often hear advice about using retargeting ads. So what does that mean? So think of it in this way. What if there was a way to get traffic back to purchase after they decided to leave? There just might be. By simply implementing a retargeting strategy, brands have increased their purchases by about 161% in conversions. Now, that number is very generous. Primarily, what you want to see about a minimum of 20% return, but I have seen 161, over 100% return on their investment, significantly improving their overall marketing return on their investment. So what is retargeting exactly? Though it sounds complex, retargeting is actually very approachable once it's broken down into steps and properly explained. Which is what's going to be my goal for today. I didn't keep the label. That's not good. If you have any questions, if you're checking things out, feel free to hit me up on TikTok, especially if you have any questions about digital marketing, online advertising, making money online. Oh, whoops, that's not right. Now, in this podcast, I'm going to do the best to explain what retargeting is, how it works, and how it differs from remarketing, and primarily what it looks like. Now, my goal is to help you be able to implement this into your business on its own, and this will be a multi-part podcast series. So make sure you're following along and you have your, dang it, I messed that up. It's a good thing no one saw that. Now, during this podcast series, I'm not too sure how many parts it's going to have. There are at least going to be 2 parts, and there's a third part attached to this, like I mentioned earlier, which is called Vanity Metrics. You're going to want to go and listen to that podcast. My goal is to explain what retargeting is, how it works, how it's different from remarketing, and primarily what's going to look like. My hope is that you will have a better understanding on this, probably implement yourself or have a very serious talk with your marketer about implementing your own retargeting tactics. Nice. Nice. All right, let's delete that one. Very unusual. StreamYard, Anchor. So, what is retargeting and how can it help your business? Retargeting reaches your customers all over the internet, even once they left your store. They're kind of like billboards, think of it that way, but way more effective since only those people who have already shown interest know what they look like or your ads get re-shown to. Remember, it's all about that intent online that's going to get that customer back to your store to buy. Ah, dang it, I messed that up. I lost my place in my notes, and I messed that up. Let me see. So, what is retargeting and how can it help your business? Retargeting reaches your customers all over the internet, even once they left your store. Think of it like billboards, but way more effective since they're the only seen by people who have already shown interest. Remember, it's all about that intent. They've been there, they typed in a keyword, and they show up to your website. But in this case, they didn't buy. So imagine someone walks into a brick and mortar store, physically walks to a location. They look around and for whatever reason, they decide to leave without buying anything. So as a business owner of that physical location, you'd simply watch them go and hope they remember you and hope they return, especially if they're like at a mall. Who knows if they're going to show up, right? With online sales, you have more power to convince someone to come back and make a purchase. That's remarketing. Now remember, online stores use retargeting as digital advertising strategy. It's part of their strategy. It's not the primary reason that they go after somebody. Remember, there's steps, bases that go into place to make this work. That takes their sales messaging off their own website, reaching potential clients in other spaces of the internet. I'm sure you've seen this. Amazon, Facebook, any apps that are free that you had to watch a video, those are all retargeting. But ads tend to differ from normal ads because instead of introducing a brand, they are reminding someone of why they are worth buying from. And that's the primary difference you want to remember. Maybe sales leads saw an eye-catching sports jacket and they weren't quite sure about the price. So they leave your website to think about it some more, maybe browse the news, check out some social media, and go on other sites. They might have forgot about the jacket, right? Then while they read their daily news or they're on a scroll through Facebook and other social media feeds, suddenly there's the jacket again. Only now they see you're running a sale on it. They remember their intention to buy said jacket and in part return to the store and finish a transaction that would have otherwise been lost. That's retargeting in action. Yeah, I did that whole part without screwing up. And nobody saw that. All right, next paragraph. Whew. I might have to do this recording tomorrow just to finish it off and like pre-game it out there, you know what I'm saying? There's music going on outside. So, retargeting versus remarketing. Even marketing professionals, such as myself, often use these two terms interchangeably, and there's a reason for it. technically, there is no difference whatsoever. Changed my mind. While you might hear sources or other marketers try to differentiate the remarketing as emailing your leads rather than reaching them via a browser of some sort, that's not necessarily the case. Now, emailing your leads is just target marketing with an email list. It's very specific. Retargeting is for those leads who didn't give you their email at all. You don't have a pre-built list already ready to go. This is people that never given you your email. That's a difference. That's a very core difference here. Those who would otherwise have a hard time reaching, you know what I'm saying? If you already have their contact information, you can just contact them, right? They're there. They've already given it to you. Where does the confusion come from? The sign points to Google and their terminology. That's essentially where it comes from. Google is very, very, very confusing. I'm saying that as a professional that has been working with Google for years. It's confusing. Google calls its retargeting ads remarketing ads and includes the emails in that category as of this recording. Now, if you're listening to this recording later down the year, Google may have changed some stuff, but as of this recording, they're included as the same thing. If you are ever confused, remember, you can only do email marketing if you have someone's contact information after they've given it to you. If you are retargeting to this person, you are trying to reach a potential lead in other websites on the internet, in social media, and on other platforms. This way, you can convince them to either purchase or leave you that email so you can contact them more cost-effective way or in an easier manner, hence your email list, or in some cases, signing up for your email list so you get the weekly email of sales or things like that. Very curious to know how this sounds like. Looks like TikTok's got me in the right. Once again, multiple platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Trying to be on the educational platform of things. I see someone has joined and left the chat. I really hope this works right. Who knows, Anchor? Who knows? You have failed me in the past before. What are some of the benefits of using retargeting ads? If you are already trying other types of targeting ads, like search engine marketing, for example, you may be still wondering why you should pursue retargeting. Well, retargeting ads on their own aren't the holy grail of marketing. Remember, there's a tactic to this. There are plans, effectiveness, time periods for either remarketing ads to even work. They work really well with an existing strategy, allowing your resources to be used more effectively. Remember, you don't just want to be running one style of ads, you're running multiple style of ads. So what is retargeting ads impact on your revenue and return on investment? Remember, as I mentioned before, there are vanity metrics and very specific metrics that you need to pay attention to. They're not the same across the board for everybody. So here are some of the main benefits of using retargeting ads. Come on now, finish processing. I notice if I change the title before it's done processing fully, Anchor will not keep the title and change it back to its default, which its default is month, date, and time, essentially. Very interesting. Right? Oh, I can. Huh. Okay. So, first of all, is reaching interested leads. We all believe we have a better memory than we actually do. And I tell you first thing first, I don't have a very good memory. Sometimes you wake up and swear you'll remember that dream you were just having. Moments later, it's gone. When you find a good purchase online, but you aren't quite ready to make it right then and there, something very similar happens. You'll forget about it. That's why businesses use retargeting. That's why it's highly recommended for any form of business, some form of retargeting, to remind possible customers to come back while giving them a reason why it's in their best interests. Another form is branding. Since you strive to make your business as memorable and unique as possible, you can use retargeting to continue to connect with potential customers outside of your website. Create an ad that they can help but chuckle at, or a sort of touching video. Remember, your remarketing ads are different from your standard ads, and they should be labeled differently, verbiage differently, approach people differently. If you know your leads need time before converting, which in most cases they do, stay on top of them by creating retargeting ads that remind them of what they need to know about you and your business. Remember, a business primarily is a person, namely that you are there when they are ready, and you're the best at what they need, and you're the best at what you do. Branding is a great form of this. And that's where I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to continue on. Yeah. Cool. Increased lifetime value, also known as LTV. What is retargeting ads' role in making I messed that up. I got tongue-tied. Let's stop recording. Blah. Oh, man. I don't know why it takes so long to freaking process. Come on. Thank you. Okay. What is retargeting ads' role in making every acquired customer? Okay. Increased lifetime value, also known as LTV. So, what is retargeting ads' role in making every acquired customer more valuable to your business? By primarily retargeting people who have already made a purchase on your website, you can increase your revenue per user. When each user spends more on your store, you can get more revenue by spending less on marketing. This increases their lifetime value. This is kept in Google Analytics as well. Increase conversion rate. Like we said earlier in this podcast, without retargeting ads, you depend on your customers to visit your website and convert right away. First time they visit you, boom, buy. Doesn't happen all the time. Those are high expectations, and they don't happen. Even a business with a perfectly optimized homepage, months of research, custom keywords, custom verbiage, images beyond belief, round-the-clock chat support, and more can't account for customers' hesitation or timelines. It just doesn't happen right away. Retargeting is simple, but an effective way of not losing leads if they aren't ready when they reach your offer. By getting those leads to come back, you lower your cost per acquisition and improve your conversion rate. Now, it's cost effective. Retargeting ads with the budget that you have. It doesn't matter whether you're just trying it out or you're all ready to go all in. Set your budget and get to it. Every conversion you achieve over zero is more than you would have gotten from your previous efforts alone. Ooh, I hate when it hit my desk, my standing desk. trying to remind people about your brand doesn't mean your creativity is limited. With retargeting ads, your ads can be as creative and free to explore as your display ads. The only difference is a good one. The leads already know you. A second approach after the ice is broken is much easier, both in business and in life, wouldn't you say? Now that we've seen some perks, you might still wonder, what is retargeting ads and its real life benefits? This is going to be it, yeah. You're providing flexibility. Just because you're trying to remind people about your brand doesn't mean your creativity is limited. With retargeting ads, your ads can be just as creative and free to explore as every other form of ads, such as display ads and YouTube ads. The only difference is a good one. These leads already know you. A second approach after the ice is broken is much easier, both in business and in real life. And with that, we're going to end part 1 of remarketing ads, and of retargeting ads, I should say, sorry. Make sure you stay tuned for next week, where I continue on this series going over the retargeting ads. Some of the things that we'll be talking about and moving forward is types of retargeting according to their behavior. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over time as well. How do the ads work? We're going to go a little bit over setting retargeting goals, where in Google Ads you might see this as well. And that's about it moving forward, and how to take aim with them also. Looking forward to talking to you guys next week. And until then, happy marketing. All right. And with that, I'm going to end this stream, and you all have a good day. Take care.